Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you wherever you are. This is Juliet Vorster and this is a video challenge day 12. And today I'm very deliberately recording the movie late in my evening. And yet at the same time, if I look like I've only just woken up, that's because I have. And the reason for doing this in this way is that today's theme is something I heard Coach Michael Neill say. I think it's probably one of his kind of catchphrases. The most important choice you make is what you choose to make important. One of the things that people often say to me about trying to learn meditation is that they don't have time. And I'm currently conducting a survey which is getting that answer, that one of the big things that stops people meditating is that they don't have the time or that they don't make the time. And lots of people recognize that. And so this idea that the most important choice you make is what you choose to make important. And the reason that I'm recording this 2055, according to my iPhone, right there, 2055, is because one of the things I make really important is my personal growth, is my continuing journey. Although I'm teaching and I'm writing and I'm doing radio shows and doing all the things that I do, I'm still growing. I'm not sitting on an ivory tower saying, hey, I've read all the books, I've done everything I'm ever going to do. What I recognize is in this human condition, there's always more for me to know about myself. And so what I'm doing at the moment, I'm taking part in an 8-week course. The English accent gives it away. I'm based in the UK, if you don't actually know me. And I'm taking part in a class that's going on in Columbus, Ohio, which is in the Eastern time zone in the US. And it's held in their evening, which means in my time zone, the class starts at midnight. And it's one of the few classes that I could find that dives into shadow work, looking at these hidden beliefs, these parts of us that have maybe become fractured and separated from the wholeness of who we are, parts of the psyche. And for me, my personal growth is that important. It's important enough for me to go to bed in the evening, catch a couple of hours sleep, and then get up again and get ready to start a class and be present and be engaged and be participating with my classmates all the way over in Columbus, Ohio. And so what is important to you, and what efforts are you prepared to achieve that's important to you, or to do and take part in that which is important to you? It's a choice. I could easily say, oh, there's no classes taking place where I am, and skip out on it. But because that thing of my personal growth is so important to me, then I'm going to go the extra mile. I'm going to take the action that I need to take to make sure that I can be present at the class at midnight. It goes through until 2. And, you know, if you've ever done that kind of thing, if you've worked night shifts, that kind of stuff, you'll know that at the end of the class, I'm not just in a state where I can roll into bed and go to sleep. I'm in that tired but wired phase. So typically, I get to bed around 3 in the morning. And I'm very blessed. I don't have a schedule whereby I have to be at work at 8 o'clock, so I can get up a little bit later and I can work my schedule so that I don't have to be somewhere first thing in the morning. But even if I had to, that's what I would do, because that's my priority. So I'm curious, what are the things that are important to you? And as you listen to this, is there something that you've had in the back of your mind that you would love to do and you've been thinking about it for a long time, but maybe you haven't made it the highest priority? And it might be meditation, and it might be something else. But I'd love to hear about that. So write that in the comments below so that we can really get a community created around these sets of videos. I know that the experiences that we have and that the things we do make a difference when we share them. I'm still reading the book I talked about in one of the earlier videos, The Gifts of Imperfection. That's reading material for this class that I'm taking tonight. And so I was reading some of that earlier today. And Brene is talking about this idea of sharing our story. And that even though that may take a great degree of courage to be that vulnerable, to be honest, but actually it's that honesty that creates connection. Something else that I once heard was that people respect your strengths, but they connect to your weaknesses. So being willing to demonstrate that you have weaknesses is placing yourself in that place of vulnerability. And yet that is what creates connection. So write your comments. What's the most important choice that you make in your day? And as you think about this, what could you do differently that would allow you to achieve something that you would love to do that maybe you've been coming up with some excuses to avoid, and they might be perfectly valid reasons, you know, that idea of PVR, perfectly valid reasons. But is there something more that's wanting to be achieved through you and that by making it a higher priority in your life, you could bring about that change. So depending on where you are in the world, you may actually be seeing this video at lunchtime. You may be seeing it tomorrow morning if you're an early to bed kind of person and you're living in Europe. Whatever it is, I hope it serves you. Let me know how it's doing for you, how this whole video series is working for you. It's being my pleasure to create them. It's really helping me gain confidence in just showing up and not worrying about looking like I just rolled out of bed, which I just did. So have a spectacular rest of the day, whatever that might look like for you. Expect a spectacular one. I send you all my love, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.